Your twin flame is with someone else right now. You know this. You feel it. And no matter how many explanations you have found for why this is happening, the one thing that none of them have fully answered is why that other person. Why someone who seems like so much less than what you two had together? That question is not irrational. It is actually pointing at something real. Something that sits below the spiritual frameworks and below the narrative of divine timing, and below everything the twin flame community typically offers as comfort. It is pointing at a mechanism, a bodily mechanism, one that most content in this space has never touched. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly why a nervous system chooses the lesser connection, not as a metaphor, as a biological fact. And that understanding will not take your pain away, but it will change the shape of it. And sometimes, that is the more honest thing to offer. Before we go any further, I want you to notice something in your own body right now. Think about the last time you felt the presence of this connection shift toward you, and then pull back. Notice where that lands. Not the story around it, the physical place it lives. The compression or the hollow, or the specific weight somewhere between the chest and the throat. That sensation is not weakness. It is not neediness. It is data. And it is pointing at exactly what we are going to explore together tonight. In the 1990s, a neuroscientist named Stephen Porges proposed a theory about the human nervous system that quietly changed how researchers and clinicians understand human behavior in relationships. He called it Polyvagal theory. The word polyvagal refers to the vagus nerve, which runs from the brainstem through the heart and lungs down into the gut. It is one of the primary regulators of the entire autonomic nervous system. And what Porges discovered is that this nerve does not operate in two states the way earlier science assumed. It operates in three. The first state is social engagement. When the nervous system is in this state, a person feels genuinely safe, not just cognitively safe, safe in the body. The face is open, the voice carries natural warmth. A person in this state can be fully present with another person. They can tolerate vulnerability. They can be seen without that seeing feeling like danger. The second state is mobilization, fight or flight. The nervous system has detected something it reads as threat, and it prepares the body to respond. Heart rate increases, attention narrows, the capacity for real connection goes offline because survival has taken priority. The third state is shutdown. When the threat feels too large to fight or flee, the nervous system collapses inward. The body goes still. The affect goes flat. The person appears calm or even indifferent from the outside, while something closer to an internal freeze is happening beneath the surface. Now here is where this becomes directly relevant to you. The intensity of this kind of twin flame connection is not a neutral event in the nervous system. It is a significant one. When two people resonate at the level you have experienced with this person, every unresolved wound in the nervous system activates simultaneously. The recognition you felt, the sense of being known at a depth that preceded language. That is the exact same signal that registers as overwhelming threat to a nervous system that has learned to associate being truly seen with eventual loss or shame or abandonment. This is not poetry. This is what happens physiologically when a person whose early relational experiences taught them that deep knowing leads to pain comes into contact with someone who knows them deeply. The social engagement system goes offline. The mobilization system takes over, and the person runs. Not toward something better, away from something that exceeds their current capacity for presence. The other relationship does not trigger this response. It keeps them inside what Porges calls the window of tolerance, the range within which a person can function relationally without the nervous system overriding everything else. Inside that window, they can be warm, they can show up, they can look from the outside like they are choosing freely. Outside it, they cannot. Not because the feeling is absent, because the system will not permit what the feeling is asking of them. This is the thing that most twin flame explanations do not reach. The running is not a statement about preference. It is a statement about nervous system capacity at this point in time. Those two things are not the same thing, and collapsing them into the same story is the source of a very specific kind of suffering that does not need to exist. What changes when you understand this? Not the situation itself. The situation remains exactly what it is. But something in the quality of how you hold it becomes available to shift. The story that his choosing her is a verdict on your worth begins to lose its grip when you understand that his choosing her is a physiological response to an intensity his system has not yet learned to metabolize. He is not withholding love. He is operating at the edge of what his nervous system can currently sustain and taking the path that keeps him functional inside it. That is not heroic. It is also not cruelty. It is a person doing the only thing an unregulated nervous system knows how to do. And here is the question I want to leave you with. Not as consolation, as a genuine and honest inquiry. If his running is a nervous system event and not a judgment on you, then what has the story that it is a judgment on you been protecting you from having to feel directly? Sit with that, not to answer it tonight, just to let it become something you are living alongside, rather than a wound you keep returning to for proof of something that was never true. That distinction is smaller than it sounds, and larger than almost anything else on this path.